NNEW, an oasis for nurturing generations of successful women entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship has been found to be capable of making a positive impact on the economy of a nation and the quality of life of her people. In addition to this, studies have established its positive impact on economic growth, employment generation, and empowerment of the disadvantaged section of the population, which include women. However, women entrepreneurs in Nigeria are often underestimated, overlooked, and hindered because of social and cultural barriers. This situation has created the need for strong umbrella organizations to give a voice to the yearnings and aspirations of women entrepreneurs. In 2004, Nigeria Employers Consultative Association (NECA), one of the leading business membership organizations in Nigeria, and the Confederation of Norwegian Business and Industry (NHO), commenced a project on working with SMEs for growth and sustainability. Following the low attendance of women at the series of workshops organized in the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria, the idea of a women's group under NECA was conceived by Rosie Lovedal, the wife of Helge Lovedal, the NHO representative, with the objectives of establishing a network of women in business who would support one another in managing their businesses professionally and profitably in order to compete globally, amongst others.
We have several employers' organizations in this environment. What prompted NECA's interest in promoting women entrepreneurship is born out of the realization of the fact that women in most countries constitute half of the population. And there must be a conscious and focused attention in trying to support women to harness the enormous potential they have to create wealth. We cannot talk for other employers' organizations, we can only talk for ourselves. And so far, we've succeeded in securing the support and cooperation of an employers' organization that is not based in Nigeria, and that's the NHO, which is equally a business membership organization like NECA. And NECA has been partnering with NHO to ensure that we achieve our various strategic objectives as articulated in the strategic policy framework.
I think that the women who came together late in 2005 at a hotel here in town, somehow their enthusiasm and their willingness to look for solutions and finding this network, how it should form, convinced me that this is something to build on. I mean, everybody talks about African women being an underutilized resource. That's somehow the general tone, and I think that is correct. At the same time, when you hear some of the discussions going on in NNEW, it is very real. It is they discuss real problems, real involvement, and that is quite amazing.
The actualization of the new dream started with a one-day seminar at Airport Hotel Lagos in March 2006, which brought together about 100 women who were addressed by established women entrepreneurs. The NHO representative facilitated a participatory session that brought out the shared challenges faced by women entrepreneurs and their peculiar needs. The program ended with the selection of 10 vibrant women who volunteered to be members of a working group that would move the idea beyond the level of concept. Eventually, NECA's network of entrepreneurial women, NNEW, was formally launched on the 22nd of November 2006 with about 100 registered members. Thereafter, the working group and the Director General of NECA, Mr. Olusegun Oshinowo, had a one-day retreat to develop the strategic plan for NNEW. The output of the retreat was as follows: vision, to build generations of successful women entrepreneurs. Mission statement, empowering women to embrace entrepreneurship and prosper in business for the general good of society. Strategic objectives. The necessary activities for achieving the strategic objectives were identified as capacity building, advisory services, advocacy, provision of relevant information, and facilitating access to funds.
The access to funds. Now, we all know how difficult this is, and we all know how challenging this can be, especially given the environment that we're operating in right now. We have spoken to a couple of banks, so we're hoping that after the recession, after this whole, after the recession, that we will be able to sit at table with them and come up with proposals that will support women in business at an interest rate that will support small businesses. So we're really looking forward to that.
NNEW's agreed core values include punctuality, opportunity and orderliness, integrity, service, and excellence. NECA identified the ILO modules on Start Your Business, SYB, Improve Your Business, IYB, and Expand Your Business, EYB, for the purposes of capacity building. These are material-based, step-by-step training programs with an inbuilt follow-up system, successfully deployed in over 90 countries worldwide. As part of the capacity building efforts, 15 trainers were trained using the ILO Start and Improve Your Business modules, which focus on putting entrepreneurs on the fast track to starting and running a sustainable business backed by a bankable business plan. The trainers' knowledge was further enhanced through various seminars and consulting programs, which was facilitated by Dr. Joseph Prokopenko, an international expert on productivity and management consulting. By December 2007, 12 out of the 15 trainers were certified by the ILO for the training of potential and existing entrepreneurs. In the first SYB training of new members entitled What Every Female Entrepreneur Must Know to Succeed, took place from the 6th to 10th March 2007. 13 workshops have been held to date, with 249 women trained. The training emphasized the basics of managing business by learning how to undertake simple and appropriate record keeping, costing and pricing of goods and services, marketing, and how to write a business plan. In recognition of a new category of SMEs requiring a strategic growth plan, the consultants were further exposed to a new capacity building program, the ILO Expand Your Business module. The objectives of the EYB is to enable entrepreneurs formulate strategic growth initiatives for their businesses through strengthening of key function areas such as operations, marketing, financial, and human resources. 15 consultants were trained and later assessed towards certification on this. With regards to provision of information, NNEW has, since inception, staged various half-day networking meetings and workshops in Lagos and Abuja. Speakers including Ambassador Christopher Kolade of the Lagos Business School.
So executive succession is critical to success, to sustainable success. And it's far better that you plan it than that you let it walk in on you unannounced.
Lolu Akinwumi of Prima Garnet Ogilvy and Kehinde Kamson of Sweet Sensation have shared their wealth of experience with members. The platform of the meetings has been used to create an opportunity for successful female entrepreneurs to share their experiences and steps to success in relation to the topic of the day, and encourage members who have attended the training to share how the training has impacted on their businesses.
With the EYB, that was the last training I did, Expand Your Business. I was able to do my objectives well. We were taught about measures to achieve objectives. There was one objective, products, uncompromising quality. So we were taught one measure in respect of that quality, and that was product defect rates. In my business, I need to be 100% quality conscious. So we've been able to achieve that with that training. Now we have about 1% product defect rates. So what we do is, if we lose one or two products, we replace it before the customer comes to us. So the customers hardly notice that we have lost any of the products because we replaced them, and that was because of the training I had at EYB. So I was able to measure the performance objective with that measure.
Initially, the SYB was an eye-opener for us here, because after going through that, I mean, you were going to begin to train other people. We had to put a lot of things in order in Casting House. Our records had to be in place, all the necessary permits, which ordinarily we used to take for granted. We had to put our own house in order, and that really helped us tremendously. Expand your business, that was more like the height of it, and it was appropriate for us then. It was timely also, because at the point when I attended the program, we were already thinking of the good pattern. We were looking out for a good pattern for the organization. So it just came on time, and the strategies learned were now put in place, and it's helped the growth of the organization so far.
So I knew I'm very good with my hands, so I went into the act of making things, hats, necklaces, and all that. So I actually have passion for what I do. That's basically.
But you won't believe it. After the class, I had to quickly get my own personal idea. I had to allocate myself with salary, which I didn't think my company could pay me. In fact, I never thought I could realize that much as salary for myself within my business, and still pay my staff and make other expenses without making.
Thank you so much.
Advocacy efforts have been unrelenting. NNEW has built relationships with Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Lagos State Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and the ILO. NNEW also made input into the national policy on small, medium, and micro enterprises, MSME. The unparalleled support received from the NHO and ILO deserves special mention. New members have participated in several ILO-sponsored events, including a 2-day exhibition to showcase products made by women entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Members have participated in 5 exhibitions in Lagos and Abuja so far, while the NHO has provided funding for most of the training and capacity building programs.
For anyone to really understand clearly the role of NECA in NNEW, we need to look at the 4 phases of evolution of NNEW. We've had the conceptualization stage, where somebody had to think of the idea of creating a group that will cater for the business need of women. I think NECA as an organization played a crucial role in this, in relating and collaborating with other organizations in coming up with the idea of setting up a women chapter of NECA. And of course, in order to move the concept forward, we had to do the strategizing, which was the next phase in the evolution of NEW. And NECA also played an important role in this, in leveraging its experience in availing various stakeholders of this experience in articulating the strategic policy framework for NEW. And of course, we got to a stage where resources had to be mobilized to execute some of the activities we have identified under our strategic policy framework. And NECA, given its international network, was on the road to mobilize the startup resources which NEW required to set up its administrative structure and to execute some of its capacity building program. And of course, we had to keep our eyes on the KPI, the key performance indicators, for us to really be sure that NEW was on the track of success. NECA as an organization also played an important role in this, because by reasons of my role, I exercise oversight responsibility of the NEW coordinator to make sure that those activities we had agreed on were going on as planned.
NEW looks forward to an enabling environment for the success of female entrepreneurs. This was emphasized in a sensitization workshop titled Towards the Promotion of an Enabling Environment for Women Entrepreneurship Development, sponsored by the ILO under the auspices of NECA in September 2009. As part of NEW's goal to become a national body, its Abuja chapter was launched on October 15, 2009. The event was graced by a number of dignitaries, including the Norwegian Deputy Head of Mission in Nigeria. The launch was a huge success, with a total of 108 potential members in attendance.
For the initial takeoff, I had to do a lot of groundwork, which entails visiting the women in their respective offices, because years ago, in 2005, we had a series of workshops, and in all this workshop, we had just about 2% of women in attendance, and we felt, since the workshops were to promote entrepreneurs and women inclusive, and they were in there, we felt we should try and get them. So I wrote to NASI and NASMI and asked for a list of the women they have within the network that I would love to invite them for a program. And I was given the names, and I had to visit them one after the other. And the first one, we had just about 20 women that has grown to what we have today.
NEW has also been active on the international scene. In June 2008, the President and Program Officer were in Norway for the Network Conference for Entrepreneurial Women. One of the highlights of the event was the presentation of the Female Futures Program, which was initiated to recruit female board members and top executives. Later on in October, NEW Vice President and Program Officer were in Cairo to attend a Pan-African Forum on Women Entrepreneurial Development. Having expended so much time in capacity building, NEW is poised for the next phase in its evolution, which is to create the structure to assist its members in accessing finance. A committee has been set up to look into the modalities. The following factors have contributed to the success of NEW: the right mix in selection of the working group, strong administrative support from NECA, and structured meetings in which members share their experience and focus on issues central to small businesses.
I think that women need a chance. I think that we do well when we gather ourselves together, speak in our way. We speak from the hearts. Men find sometimes that we're a bit chaotic, but we don't think so. We deal on multi-levels at one time. We care very deeply and intensely what's going on. And if we are together and we have a chance to speak in one voice, there isn't anything we can't do.
In its quest to attain national status, NNEW has identified some challenges it may face. These include the need to accelerate the training of more consultants in order to adequately serve its members in the 6 geopolitical zones, and the cost of equipping administrative offices in other parts of Nigeria.
Once we have the funds we need, we will definitely go to the other parts of Nigeria. But then, if there is insecurity, there is political instability, that could be a hindrance. Without that, once those things are out of the way, we'll definitely go to the other parts of Nigeria and become a national body.
The competence of the current crop of consultants will also need to be improved in order to make them more relevant to current challenges facing SMEs. NNEW is conscious of measurable indicators of its success. Feedback has indicated that a high proportion of members who had gone through these workshops and consultancy services have migrated from the informal to formal business sectors, instituted proper structures and procedures, including improved record keeping and stock management, thereby increasing profitability. In the coming year, NNEW has set for itself the following targets: establishment of 4 chapters of NNEW in Port Harcourt, Ibadan, Aba and Kano, the organization of 4 workshops using ILO SIYB module geared towards business improvement for members in Lagos, 3 in Abuja, and 2 workshops using ILO EYB module. 6 network meetings, that is, 4 in Lagos and 2 in Abuja. NNEW is quite willing to partner and collaborate with like-minded individuals and organizations. In the event that you are interested, please contact the program officer through the Lagos office at Eka House, Plot A2 Hakim Balogun Way, Central Business District, Alausa, Ikeja. Telephone number 774-2734. Email new@new.org. Our website is www.new.org, or at the Abuja office at Edo House, 75 Ralph Shodeinde Street, opposite Federal Ministry of Finance, Central Area, Abuja. Telephone number 09-870-3414. Additional details are shown on the screen. It was Demosthenes, a Greek philosopher, who once said, "Small opportunities are often the beginning of great enterprises." It is time for women entrepreneurs to dream big dreams and put them down on paper. Time to crystallize every droplet of inspiration and innovation into a gem of harnessed opportunity through the pipelines of passion, structure, and determination, leading to the formation of profitable and sustainable enterprises for generations to come. This is the vision of